Today we're taking a look at 10 hidden gems of the Roku channels. Now these are channels you may not necessarily know about, but if you've been around Roku's for a long time, you may know some of these already. But these are channels I think that are not nearly as popular as, for instance, Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu, but that I think that offer great content. Maybe not for everybody, but I think that there is a good audience for these out there, and that Roku's owners and cord cutters in general should be trying these out. Now, they are in no particular order. This is my personal list of some lesser known Roku channels that deserve a lot of interest. Number one is Stadium. This is a new 24/7 sports streaming service out there that is really cool. They have a paid version where you can get a ton more content on demand access, back catalog, or you can just skip it and go straight into the app itself. There's a 24/7 live feed. You can see live events coming up. It's kind of a quiet time of the year as basketball gets ready for March Madness and MLB gets ready to get started, but you can see there is still a good amount of content. The Army Games, Patriot League, you got Mountain West competition here. It's a decent lineup for a Tuesday in the middle of February, or the end of February. So, and then you got, you can look at league and conferences. They have a lot of highlight shows, so you actually can go in here and say, oh, you know, spring practice has started, and I'm a, let's just say, Chicago Cubs fan. And I can go in here and I can take a look at all of the content related to the Chicago Cubs. Well, let's keep on going. The next one is what I think is a cool one, and this is more about a category of different Roku channels than a specific one. Now, this is a classic public domain content, the Dragnet, not the newer version, the 1950s version, the black and white one. And here I paid 99 cents to get access to all these older Dragnet episodes. And it's a really nice way to watch all of them. Some of these are on YouTube, the quality can vary. I found this channel was really cool. If you dig around, you'll find a lot of public access ones like this. I'll give you access to older public access content, which is really cool. Sky News. Now this is a free one. There are a ton of news ones. Pretty much every major news network has a Roku channel. You see they have a 24/7 live feed of Sky News, which is a UK-based, European, mostly focused news service. It does do coverage around the world, including the United States, Asia, Middle East, and on. They have the different categories, the latest, and then it just keeps on going. World news, UK news, and technology. I think this kind of geolocates where you are and gives you content based on where it thinks you are located. So check that out. If you're a news buff, even if you don't have a paid subscription, for instance, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC all have great channels. The next one is Weather Nation. I get this request a lot, like, hey, I really want the Weather Channel. I don't want to pay for a streaming service like DirecTV now. You may want to check out Weather Nation. This is a 24/7 weather service that goes out there and allows you to watch a live feed at all times. So when you first open it, you get the general ones. You can click on, let me go back there. Here we go. I can click on the main feed and go full screen and get access to a full screen picture of their news that they're running right now. Let's kind of jump out. I can also go to the 36-hour, and I can see what's coming up in the next 36 hours. Just all kinds of different weather ones, the 10-day forecast. So this is a cool service. If you're a weather buff, you want live 24/7 weather. There's no reality shows on this. There is no movies though appearing on this. This is just a feed of the Weather Nation network. So I really like that, and it is a great option for weather. Especially, I would keep this. You never know if you live in a hurricane area, if blizzard's coming or tornadoes coming. This is a pretty nice one. The next one is, I'm showing you my local ABC news app that they created here for the local affiliate. But many affiliates out there have their own Roku channels. I would shop around and see what's available in your area, see if you have one or two or more have a Roku channel. I really like this. So you can see that I can watch live. They have a noon or 11:30 here news coming up. I could watch live. They have different features. I can click over here on the weather, and this is one of the things I really like is they have the weather, but then they also have all times a weather video. I can highlight this and make it full screen like the Weather Nation, but I can get a forecast whenever I want it. We can go over to sports, check this out and see different videos with high school football teams, all kinds of different sports-related videos. I would encourage you, even if you don't think you would use it a lot, it is nice to have your local news affiliates app on your Roku so you can access it out there and get your weather, get your sports whenever you want. I use this a lot for the weather because I don't always want to watch the full news, but I definitely want to see what the weather is going forward. Do I, get the kids ready for school? Do I need a coat or anything like that? So check that out. Next up is Livestream. Now this is a backbone. They haven't really changed this Roku channel in a long time. This Livestream app powers a lot of other apps that stream live news, churches, and everything. It's kind of a backbone for a lot of live smaller colleges, churches, schools, news, websites, and so forth. You may want to go in here and search for an account. For instance, when I lived in Michigan, went to Ada Baptist Bible Church, and right here, Ada Bible Church. Look, they have a feed on here, and it includes all their services on here. So I would say just kind of think about things you may want to watch your local church. Many different news stations there may not have a dedicated Roku channel, but they may be on live stream. When I first became a core car, I lived in an area with no over-the-air signal. Livestream was the channel I used to be able to stream my local news so I could watch it even though I didn't have an antenna. Hey, next up is Filmrise. Now, Filmrise has a bunch of different Roku channels. I'm going to highlight two of them today. This is their documentary channel. It used to be called Document Depot, I think. Don't count me on that. It was a document supplement. But now they just call it Filmrise Documentaries, Filmrise Science Fiction, etc. And here you can go through and you see a good-sized catalog of ad-supported, everything from biographies to crime to history, to documentaries, and then even TV shows like Unsolved Mysteries, Women Behind Bars, America's Dumbest Criminals. I'm sure that's good for a laugh or two. And then they have all kinds of different ones. They got Filmrise Kids, horror, the sci-fi one is really great. We'll get to that later. Comedies, westerns. There's really a ton of content out there. If you fall in the category where you're happy to watch commercials, meaning you don't have to pay for your TV, Filmrise channels are not a bad way to go. And they definitely don't get the attention of a Tubi or a Crackle out there. Next up is Comet. If you're a sci-fi fan, Comet is a great over-the-air TV network that airs all kinds of sci-fi content, from Stargate to Andromeda to movies and classics all the time. 24/7 feed of it. The good news is they have a Roku channel which will allow you to watch it. It'll show you what's coming up in the future. I don't really want to hang on this because YouTube has a great way of copyright notices on this kind of stuff. But it just launches it. It will show you what's coming up in the future. No on demand right now, just a live stream of their over-the-air TV network. I would check this out. It is a nice one. Hopefully more over-the-air TV networks do this. Keep an eye on that in the future. But for now, if you're a sci-fi fan, check out Comet. Now, the next one may surprise some people. Twitter on Roku. Now, why is this surprising? Because I bet a lot of people who are even remotely knowledgeable of what's happening in the world of core car probably are familiar with the Twitter streaming service. But there are a ton of people out there I find have no idea that this is an option. So it's a live streaming service. Again, they have stadium streaming here. They have something called starters over here. And then they break out into different news. Different times of day they'll have. Last year they had a MLB free game of the week where they would stream it on here. They've done, in the past they had NFL Thursday Night Football. I believe they're still bidding on it for this year, so maybe they'll get it back, maybe they won't, I don't know. NBA pregame shows, college football games. There's just so much content here, but it really depends on when you tune in. Right now we're tuning in on a Tuesday morning. There's not a lot live, but you can go down here and say, I want to look at sports. And then this is an area where you can see everything out there. You can see some tweets and different things be overlaid on that. And that doesn't happen on most live feeds. That's that particular feed. You can look at entertainment, see what's out there, different categories. So it is a kind of a cool one. You can also see today on Twitter, you can see highlights of whether some of the biggest topics are trending on Twitter right now are down here. During the presidential primaries, this was a great one because it aired the debates a lot. It aired a lot of the conventions were on here. I found it to be a highly reliable streaming option for that kind of stuff. So check it out. Now, lastly is the sci-fi. This is again from Filmrise. I wanted to run through it to give you one more of their apps on the Roku channel here to check out. You can see a ton of different content out there, and some of it very recent, some of it older content, and it varies greatly. They have this changing all the time. Featured sci-fi. So again, this may not be for everybody. Some people hate the ads, I get that. But if you are not looking to pay for content, that's a good one to check out. Just their whole catalog of their different Roku channels is a great one. And so that's the top 10, but I wanted to throw one bonus. YouTube on Roku. Now this one I think gets overlooked a lot. I would encourage everybody to check out just YouTube on Roku because it is you can cast it from your phone or computer to your Roku if you're on the same Wi-Fi network. So I can pick up my phone, be watching a video, cast it and watch it on the big screen. Of course I can watch live feeds, which is something when Roku and YouTube first started, you weren't able to watch YouTube live on your Roku. It was only the on-demand content. That's changed. You can now watch YouTube live on your Roku, which is a pretty good option. So I would say check it out. There's a great ton of content on YouTube, as you probably already know, that you should be exploring. I would encourage you for the world of cord cutting. So right there are my top 10 Roku channels I consider under the radar gems. These are ones that you may already know about, you may not. But I want to just encourage people to get out there, dig through the Roku catalog, dig through your Fire TV catalog, Apple TV catalog. You'd be surprised what channels and apps you'll find out there that will give you content you never imagined was at your fingertips. Cord cutters have so much more content than you would ever have with cable TV. So check it out, dig in there. Find out what your interests are. Are you into bass fishing? Well, I tell you, there's a ton of content on Roku about bass fishing. There's pretty much content on everything. You have a baby, there's a ton of baby channels with content literally devised for babies. What I used to do when my daughter was a very little kid, we used to put the Pandora on the TV in the living room and she would bounce around and play to toddler radio on Pandora. And that was a great way to let mom and dad have the actual radio. We could listen to what we want, but she could bounce around to her toddler radio with the TV or the image of the song going up there. So check it all out. Just really wanted to encourage everybody to dig in, be open-minded to what's out there and explore because you never know what you're going to find. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we've helped you find something new and interesting to watch.